Gigalith fires off the superpower, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield, and it is Scolipede time. The opponent pivots back out into Galvantula, but Galvantula, the pesky little spider, going to find itself straight in and straight out. Back out comes the Walrus. Scolipede farms up, fires off the Sludge Bomb, but is Sludge Bomb enough to knock out? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out. So welcome back to the channel. Today we have yet another banger of a battle submission from Bigpokki. As you can see on the screen, Bigpokki is out here showcasing not one, but two of the newly released Shadow Pokemon from the last Team Rocket takeover. Leading line for us today is going to be Scolipede with its oppressive poison jab damage. It's got two very nice charge moves in X-Scissor and Sludge Bomb respectively, both of which are getting same type attack bonus. In case you're not too up to date with the Season 20 move rebalance, Mud Slap is now one of the very finest quick moves in the game. So our second newly released Shadow Pokemon is going to be Gigalith running Mud Slap. Gigalith did have a community day where it got access to Meteor Beam, a very hard hitting rock type move that gets a 100% chance to vamp up your attack. While that's very nice, Gigalith is insanely glassy. Bigpokki's opting for Rock Slide, and I actually agree with that. The pace into Meteor Beam would be straight sixes, 18 turns, and let's be real, this Glass Cannon's never getting there. We're opting for Rock Slide, which is much spammier, taking 5 Mud Slaps, then alternating between 4 and 5 thereafter that. Rounding today's triple shadow team off, we've got Squidward, aka Tentacruel, not running Acid Spray, but that Hail Mary Sludge Wave. As you can tell from my voice, I am feeling somewhat under the weather, so if I don't sound as hyped as I usually do, that's the reason why. But the show must go on, so without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we see Scolipede into Dragonite. Dragonite will pace at the same speed to us, but the opponent allows us to throw first, forcing us an early shield advantage, and then we say switch into Tentacruel. Tentacruel going to be able to absorb whatever the opponent throws. Interestingly enough, they go for the superpower. Superpower will be resisted due to our poison typing, but it still does some reasonable damage when it's Shadow and Shadow Crime. Our Tentacruel say switch baits out Umbreon. Umbreon likely wants to keep far away from our very oppressive poison bug type. Tentacruel is able to land the Scald. The opponent returns fire with the foul play. Tentacruel withstands the damage, fires off the next Scald. Scald removes Umbreon from the field of play. The opponent sends back out Dragonite. Dragonite gets that farm down. However, they're just going to get farmed down by either Pokemon. Bigpokki waits out his clock, sends out Gigalith looking for the double resisted Mud Slap farm down. The opponent sends back out Venusaur. Venusaur going to have a very tough time. A Vine Whip farming us down as they are double resisted. Scolipede fires off the X's, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Bigpokki still with 2 Protect Shields, 2 high beyond. Going to get that full Mud Slap farm down and return the favour. Firing off a resisted superpower, and superpower is going to be all she wrote. And we're off to a 1-0 start. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see that very annoying fighter that needs to pull its bloody trousers up. The opponent say switches into Altaria, and this is somewhat of a problem for us. We don't really have the best response. Tentacruel pretty neutral, but very slow to charge moves. In fairness, Altaria is also insanely slow this season, due to Sky Attack now being more expensive. We send out Gigalith. That Sky Attack certainly didn't look resisted. Gigalith able to survive the Dragon Breaths, reach the Rock Slide. Rock Slide should be removing Altaria from the field of play, but the opponent invests 2 Protect Shields to keep Altaria around, setting up Bigpokki with a 2-0 shield advantage. We now send out Squidward. Squidward going to invest a Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Sky Attack. Can we jab down before the next Sky Attack's reached? It looks like we can. We actually see Bigpokki bank the Scald for the road, snipe with Scolipede, getting a running start on energy. Scrafty very unlikely to return. The opponent sends out more Pekko. That Pokemon everyone's hyping up about, but it's going to be straight in and straight out. Just Scrafty remains. The opponent recognises there's nothing they can do, and they very quickly run for the hills, conceding the match. In the next battle, we see the absolute dream lead. The opponent realises we're running Poison Jab, and then they pivot out into Piloswine. I love this Pokemon. Once again, we don't have the best response. We force a protection with the X-Scissor, then send out Gigalith. Gigalith going to be shielding up that incoming Avalanche, which I have zero doubt in my mind would quite easily one-shot despite only being neutral. Bigpokki farms up, fires off the superpower on what looks like to be a CMP tie. Superpower forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. The last second, Bigpokki decides to go all in on Gigalith, getting it some screen time, and that is a very good decision as out comes Vigoroth. Why are you still running this cheeky little monkey? Vigoroth's days are very much over. Even a debuff superpower near picks up the one-hit KO. Due to the slower pace in this season, Vigoroth unable to reach a charge move. Piloswine returns. That gets Poison Jab farm down as well. We leave with a Sludge Bomb. It's going to be high A9, by A9, get wrecked, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, I imagine Bigpokki was like, yikes, that certainly isn't something our bug type wants to see. We save switch into Squidward, baiting out Dragonite. If the opponent doesn't shield this, despite it being resisted, oh my gosh, it does so much damage. Open up the door for Bigpokki to very easily flip switch, and you know that is the play he's going to go for. We certainly need alignment at all costs, as Scolipede is so bad, into a Ghost Fire type. Out comes Wish Daddy Cash. Tentacruel, gonna show who's the superior Scold user. Fires off the Scold. We see Bigpokki save Tentacruel as a potential third shield and pivot back out into Scolipede. I'm not really sure if I agree with this play, as it's just going to give free farm to Skeledirge, although in fairness, only one Incinerate removed us from the field of play. Bigpokki very much going to have to pull off some shenanigans here, as we are very behind in this battle. Bigpokki correctly shields up the Shadow Ball, which is a good start, meaning the opponent's only going to reach a Disarming Voice. We've seen Gigalith, not the bulkiest. Disarming Voice gets us down to around a third health. Bigpokki able to get that full Mud Slap farm down back out. Comes Wish Daddy Cash. We fire off the Super Power, forces the protection. We pivot back out into Tentacruel. Trainer, why are you throwing? I don't think that saves us, or does it? No, it does not, as we're unable to reach the next Super Power, and we are going to take a heartbreaking loss. In the next battle, we see an absolutely dreadful lead. A ground type in general, very problematic for this team. Bigpokki, not really looking to climb, more looking to have some fun and test things out, but this team is so weak to a ground type. Both Gigalith and Tentacruel take super effective from ground, while Scolipede only takes neutral. It's pretty bad into a ground type, due to ground resisting poison. Bigpokki forced the protection, then pivoted out into Scolipede. Scolipede did not tank that Mud Bomb particularly well, but was able to hang on, fire off the X-Scissor. It looks like a bit of a team effort, but the ground type is removed from the field of play. Well, at least the first one was. Here comes ground type number 2, but this is a matchup Gigalith will thrive in. Bug types always struggle. I personally love Beedrill due to the access to that drill run coverage, able to nuke potential steel types that bugs are usually so piss poor into. Excuse my French. Bigpokki fires off the Super Power, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. This Super Power is now debuffed. Super Power gets the opponent insanely low. We send out Tentacruel. The opponent saves Steelix and pivot out into G-Weezy, and Tentacruel will be feasting. Hopefully we can knock out this G-Weezy before they reach the second brutal swing. Bigpokki actually commits to the Sludge Wave, when I'm almost certain a Scold would be lethal, especially when it's Shadow on Shadow Cron. We fire off the Sludge Wave. For massive overkill, back out comes Steelix. Can Tentacruel survive a Psychic Fangs? Yes, we can. Can we get the jab farm down? Oh, no, we cannot. And we end in a tie. GG's to both trainers. Heading into the next battle, we see Whimsicott in the lead. We're now running ABB Poison, so we say switch into Scolipede, and my god, out comes Typhlosion. Poor Scolipede was so young. In fairness to our giant centipede, it put in some work in this mid-game. Not only forcing a protection, we're getting the opponent below half health. Trainer, why didn't you throw? I have no idea why the opponent didn't throw a charge move, but we're certainly not complaining. Back out comes Whimsicott. We shield up the Seed Bomb. Bigpokki gonna fly off the Rockslide. Rockslide has been nerfed this season. We're pretty attack weighted, and holy cow, that does a lot of damage. Bigpokki then snipes with a Poison Jab. The opponent's third Pokemon. Oh boy, this thing's gonna get obliterated. Let it go, Bigpokki. Let it go. Morpeko might have boosted itself up. But how many Mud Slaps do you think it's going to survive? Apparently 3. But that Mud Slap damage was absolutely disgusting. Another Morpeko enters the arena and gets very quickly obliterated. I've seen so many people hype this thing up. I think it's quite situational whether it's any good or not. Speaking of obliterations, why is this stupid Wallface user staying in against a Mud Slapper? They must be ABA weak to ground. So if this was me, I'd be looking to pivot instantly into one of my poison types to save this energy, knowing it's going to be very good in the back. Out comes Toxicroak. So our charge moves are walled here, but the Mud Slaps would do so much damage. We force a Protect Shield, pivot out into Tentacruel, baiting out Victory Bell. This is a pretty neutral matchup. Both Pokemon hitting each other for neutral. Victory Bell straight in and straight out. This Toxicroak looking to put the team on its back, but it simply will not be able to 1v3. Tentacruel, the crazy little frog, bouncing away saying, send me out another victim. Well, unfortunately, Tentacruel, we have no victim. We've got something that double resists your quick move in the form of Scolipede. Scolipede fires off the X-Scissor, which is also resisted, but just does so much damage. We actually make a savage catch as well, catching back onto Gigalith. Mud Bomb picks up the knockout, but Bigpokki going to be able to resist it. Poison Jab farm down, and we take that game. If you're new to Pokemon Go PvP, the first rule of battling is never lose to dumbass Bastiodon. In the next battle, we see Gigalith into Bubble Jellicent. I'm not really sure why we're super and a ghost type, but the bait does pay off as the opponent puts up that Protect Shield. Bigpokki looking to match shield and the opponent Bubble Beam us. Why are you running Bubble Beam? Surf has been reworked this season, but it's still definitely the way to go. This opponent ever horny for debuffs, even throw a Bubble Beam at our Squid. Bigpokki farms up, attempts to throw on the CMP tie, but this time the opponent at least is building up towards a Shadow Ball. The opponent is at the Shadow Ball. Bigpokki like, nah, this is another Bubble Beam, and we get Shadow Ball to the face. A very unfortunate series of events. Bigpokki looking for that resisted Poison Jab farm down. The opponent sends out a Bomb of Snow. Oh boy, if we would have reacted, we could have picked up a clean one-shot with a Sludge Wave. Oh, that's unfortunate as well. Bigpokki sends out Scolipede. Scolipede gets debuffed again. I'm calling a triple debuff team. Show me another debuff in one. Back out comes Jellicent. I would have liked to see Bigpokki commits that resisted Poison Jab farm down, hold his energy. Holy cow, if we would have held our energy, we could have double Sludge Bombed this A9. We're now sitting in somewhat of a tricky spot. Bigpokki fires off the X-Scissor bait, forcing the opponent's final protection. Bigpokki tries to make a catch, unsuccessfully. We send back out Scolipede. The opponent continues to farm up, allowing us to reach the X-Scissor, and despite this being resisted, it is going to pick up the dub. Woof, you had me sweating there, buddy. In the next battle, we see that pesky little spider Galvantula in the lead. The opponent say switches into Shadow Swampert, a very problematic Pokemon for us. Bigpokki attempts to catch onto Tentacruel. However, he gets stuck in the Mud Slap animation, so he's forced to shield up the Hydro Cannon. Bigpokki looking to force that Protect Shield back, firing off the Super Power. Super Power does force our shield back, and we send out Tentacruel. The opponent doesn't commit to an Earthquake. I think they would have got there. So if you're the opponent in this matchup, even if you're not going to reach the Earthquake, just throw the Hydro Cannon last second and test your opponent's counting. You can see they were able to reach back-to-back Hydro Cannons, so it would have easily made the Earthquake. However, likewise, 2 Hydro Cannons still got the job done, so I guess the play didn't matter all that much. Bigpokki sends back out Gigalith. Walrein enters the arena. Gigalith fires off the Super Power. Super Power forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and it is Scolipede time. The opponent sends back out that pesky little spider. Galvantula, not known for its bulk, going to find itself straight in and straight out. Just the Walrus remains. Bigpokki commits to the Sludge Bomb. Is Sludge Bomb enough to knock out the big fat Walrus? No, it's not. They survive on 1 HP and a Dream. We've still got a Protect Shield to hide behind, so we can shield up the Icicle Sphere. 1 Poison Jab is going to knock them out, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle. A very nice lead for us. Alola Marowak says no thank you. They say switch into Wish Daddy Cash, and we send out Scolipede. We've seen these Mud Bombs do far more than you'd like. However, we do survive 1. Bigpokki overfarmed before firing off the X-Scissor. Scolipede has a very respectable attack stat. It's almost in the same sort of realm as Dragonite. I think Dragonite's like 136. This thing's 134, so a very hard hitting Pokemon. As you can see by that X-Scissor damage. Holy. Wishcash, a very bulky boy. I did not expect X-Scissor to hit that hard. Scolipede hitting like a truck. Bigpokki sends out Gigalith. Gigalith shields up the Mud Bomb, commits that Mud Slap farm down. Out comes Swampert. The opponent likely shielded this as Marowak going to be petrified of our Mud Slap damage. Bigpokki attempts to catch the Hydro Cannon onto Tentacruel, and I think the opponent's thrown the game. The opponent should have thrown the Earthquake, picking up that 1-hit KO. I don't really know why they've banked and pivoted back out, and I also don't know why we're shielding up the Bone Club. Some very questionable plays from both sides. Bigpokki got gifted the game. His saying to the opponent, you can have it. This Earthquake will be removing us from the field of play. No, the opponent thought Hydro Cannon would be lethal. It was not. A very scuffed endgame from both trainers, if I'm being brutally honest, but we're able to emerge victorious. GG's. Heading into the next battle. Yet another Swampert. Oh boy. Again, we attempt to make the catch, but that catch is never going to be available. The opponent for suboptimal timing as soon as they got it after 5 Mud Shots. That was literally in the middle of our Mud Slap animations. If you're looking to make that catch, you need to throw 3 Mud Slaps, pause a turn, and then switch into Tentacruel. This time we're able to make the Hydro Cannon catch onto Squidward, and our Squidward save switch is answered by the ever annoying basic bitch tin can Registeel. Tentacruel fires off the Scold. Scold actually gets the attack drop, which is now only a 30% chance, not the coin flip we used to have a few seasons ago where Scold users were very OP. We send out Gigalith. Gigalith looks for that Mod Slap farm down, which we're unable to get before the opponent reaches the Focus Blast. Bigpokki happy to invest a Protect Shield in exchange for all the energy in the world. Back out comes Swampert. Superpower will be knocking them out from this range. The opponent invests that Protect Shield, likely suggesting they're weak in the back. Bigpokki takes the initiative, fires off the next Superpower, removing Swampert from the field of play. We reset our debuff, sending out Scolipede. However, a Fire Ghost type is probably the worst thing we could possibly see. Both Ghost and Fire resist Bog. Ghost also resists Poison, so we are completely walled. The opponent get that full Incinerate farm down, leaving with the charge move, and we take a heartbreaking loss. GG's to that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see that silly electric fish. No matter what Niantic do to this Pokemon, people will continue to use it. This is the Spark variant, so a nice matchup for us. You can see these Mod Slaps are tearing through the opponent. The opponent forces a Protect Shield with the Surf, then send out Umbreon. Do they know about that Superpower coverage? Apparently they do, but we do force a Protect Shield before hard punishing them with Scolipede. Hopefully this opponent doesn't have Legacy Psychic. The opponent throw the foul play when they're doubled up. Bigpokki looks like he's just completely sacking Scolipede, using it as the damage sponge. Scolipede, a very glassy Pokemon, and in all fairness to it, not a particularly good damage sponge. Bigpokki now sends back out Gigalith. Very nice count in over farming, throwing the Superpower on the CMP tie. Umbreon running Snarl. If it's on foul play, it's going to be 4-3, 4-3 to the foul play. If they're on Dark Pulse, it's straight 4s. Bigpokki forces the final protection, then once again resets his debuff, this time sending out Tentacruel, baiting back out the silly electric fish. Bigpokki fires off a Skull, which isn't quite lethal. I don't dislike this play, to be honest, as they're only going to reach a Surf, and we are going to leave with residual energy good to go. The opponent sends out Skeledirge. Last battle, this thing ate our Centipede alive, but Tentacruel gonna get some redemption. Get that Skeledirge off my screen. We then go for the wham bam combo play, serving up the Big Mac and the fries. Gigalith fires off the Superpower, picking up the knockout, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Flygon on the lead. This is kind of where the team wants to see it, as our backline is going to be so bad into this thing. Bigpokki invests the Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Dragon Claw before firing off the Superpower. That's actually a CMP tie. I'm quite surprised to see Gigalith lose the charge attack priority to Flygon. We reset our debuff, pivoting out into Tentacruel, baiting out Venusaur. I would have liked to see Bigpokki commit to the Sludge Wave, as this is the non-shadow variant. We are going to be able to survive a Frenzy Plant. But I guess the thought process here is that we want to leave some health on it to farm down, likely with Scolipede, getting some energy ready to hopefully deal with that Flygon that is going to cause us somewhat of a headache. Bigpokki sends out Scolipede, able to get that Poison Jab farm down before Venusaur reaches another charge move. Back out comes Flygon. Flygon going to be greeted with the X-Scissor. X-Scissor goes unshielded, removing Flygon from the field of play. The opponent sends out Water Gun Lantern. The Mod Slap and Superpower combination should force the final Protect Shield, and Bigpokki can just Sludge Bomb this ever annoying Seal Electric Fish to the face, and that will easily pick up the knockout. The opponent still playing the inevitable out. Bigpokki saying if you want that work, Scolipede is going to give it to you. We reach the Sludge Bomb. It's going to be High Lantern, By Lantern. I'm going to end the video with a nice Sludge Bomb. Boom. GG's, and thanks for playing. So as always, when I'm not sure on something, I look it up, because every day is a school day. No matter how good you think you are at battling, you can always learn something. So Gigalith actually has a 127 attack stat compared to Flygon's 129. And that is going to pretty much wrap things up for today's Shoutcast. I think both Scolipede and Gigalith are pretty interesting Pokemon. Both are quite attack weighted and both hit very, very hard. I'm not sure this is the meta that they're really going to shine in, but in some other limited metas in the not so distant future, I think they'll certainly have some play. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing if you'd like your battles featured on my channel. A link to our battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.